get to senior. And if you're senior, same thing. You got to promote in the compensation plan so that you can make the most of this launch. It is not, let's focus all of our efforts on that. You got to just keep playing the who do you know game. You got to keep showing the plan. You got to promote. You got to do the things you know to do. And listen, if Japan was not ever on the table, we still have a really lucrative business right here in Dallas, Texas. I mean, right here. It is the land of milk and honey.
And for some of you, you've been around for like a state launch, a territory launch inside of a state. And I've heard a lot of people mention, concerns about, delays going on with Champion. Keep in mind, this is our first international launch together, okay, as a company. So we've got to make sure that things are going to stay fluid. I promise you, as soon as Chris Chambliss is perfectly ready to throw up those .jp websites, he will do it the instant that we're ready to go. I would definitely suggest and just plan on that there's probably going to be a couple week delay before anything else is happening with that, because they're still working on things. It is not an easy country to get into. We're confident that they'll get into it very, very quickly. But you guys have to understand, we're just keeping it clean and building that list all along the way until the time for us to actually go do what we do best, which is market and close.
Yeah, and for those of you who've been around for any length of time, if you've been around any launch, delays are inevitable. That's just the nature of the business, and we are always going to be finest and most respected. So if there's anything that is going to endanger finest and most respected, we're going to make sure we do it right. So just know that things are going full bore ahead. Things are going to be very exciting. The business presentations are going to be in Tokyo and Osaka, and so you just know that as we launch this, you're going to hear everything that's going to come out.
And then we've got a couple of folks here out from corporate, from the call center, consultant support. We've got Supervisor Laura Munez. Where are you at, Laura? There you are. We got VIP account manager Cecilia Lopez. And VIP account manager Sarah Anderson. So when we're on break or after, they're going to be around for the rest of the day. If you've got questions for them or just want to get to meet and greet them, they're here to help with that. So we appreciate you guys being out here, your partnership and support. So thank you so much.
I just want to leave you with this. Today, this is prime time. Like, it is prime time. Why we're in the position that Richard and I are in to be able to partner with Ambit to help launch the Japanese market is because of the track record we've created for the last 10 years. And the reason why, even though we're financially free and we live a very comfortable life and we can stay in our little Frisco bubble, why we would uproot our family to move across the world to a place that we don't know anything about is because the opportunity is so huge. The opportunity not just to change our life and our kids' life, but our grandkids and the communities that are most important to us. And I'm telling you, if you're not doing all you can to grow as fast as you can in this business, you are selling yourself and your family short. I cannot impress upon you enough that now really is the time for you to get really, really serious about your Ambit Energy business, and it's never too late. It's never too late to plug in. It's never too late to ramp up. It's never too late to go the distance, because it's never too late to take on your future.
So now this next gentleman that we have coming up, a little story about this. So we used to do this softball. Used to qualify to be on the softball team. Ambit did that for a few years. And my favorite person to bat in front of was this next gentleman, because this was the cleanup master. This was the man that I knew if I got on first, I was getting on second or third, right? So, because I didn't have the swing or the dig that he had. But inside of Ambit, most of you guys know him. He's pretty well known. Most of you guys have followed a lot of his training videos. It's the first time that he's ever come down here to Dallas to be at one of our training events. He's participated with the power trips, being a top 50 income earner and a national consultant, 5-star trip winner. So would you guys please help me welcome, first time here in Dallas, Michael Obey.
Thank you so much. Great job. Great job, man. Well, excited to be here. All right, so
We're gonna get going with this, and today's topic is about how to be a master recruiter in a business. And obviously, to get through the ranks, you have to go out there and recruit people, so you can go out there and start building a team, building different legs. And a lot of people say to me, well, what's the secret to being a master recruiter, guys? And it's just not a script that you're gonna say. There's a lot to it. So a big part of my first segment today is gonna be really on the mental game, because it's a lot more than just going out there and saying the right words. It's a lot to do with you as a person, what you're thinking. It's more than a script. You got to have the right attitude and the right mental mindset, guys, because you got to believe that you could do it. I believe everybody in this room, and congratulations on being here today, because there's a lot of other people that didn't come out, and you guys are here on a Saturday morning. It just says a lot about you, and you guys all deserve the best and deserve to have the greatest success that you want. I believe anybody could be an EC or an NC. Guys, when I started Ambit Energy, 8.5 years ago, I never did sales before in my life. I guarantee I was the most quietest, shyest person in this room. Never did any sales, never did any presentations, petrified of that stuff. But I believed that I can go out there and become a national consultant and hit my goals. It was that belief from day one that I was going to go out there and do it and make it happen. If I didn't have that belief from the beginning, I never even would have probably got to RC or SC. But my goal was to get to NC from day one and be financially free. And there was nothing that was going to stop me. I'm going to share my why with you in a few slides, but that's what I believe. I believe any one of you in here today, anybody on the live stream, can become an EC or an NC. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your skill set. If you believe in this opportunity and you're humble and you're coachable and you can follow a system and do it on a consistent basis, anybody can truly do this. I believe anybody in this room can make $5,000, $10,000 a month or even more money. And your success is totally a mindset, guys. It's with Ambit, it's with anything in life. Why do some people in Ambit have a higher closing ratio than others? You know, Coach talked about his numbers before. He was 2 out of his first 54 people. He probably got a lot better over time. You know, but some people go out there and speak to 10 people and go 0 for 10. Some go 1 for 10, some go 2 for 10, some go 3 for 10. There's times I've been probably 10 for 10. And why? If we're out there showing the same presentation, why do some people have more of a better closing percentage than others? Guys, it's about you. It's 85% about you as the person, and I think only 15% about the presentation. Sometimes I think it's more. Sometimes I think it's more like 90-10. You have to get people to buy into you. Well, first, you need to believe in Ambit Energy. Does everybody in this room believe in Ambit? Yeah. I think you guys do. Right, Ambit is a 10, almost 11-year-old company, $1.5 billion company. Ambit is working, it's changing lives for people. So you got to believe in the company first. Because if you don't believe on what you're going out there and telling people about, it's not going to work, because people could read right through you. You need to believe in this, be excited about it, be passionate about this opportunity. And people will sense that totally. So you got to be 100% confident in yourself. Well, you got to believe in the company first in order to be confident in what you're doing. And the more confident you are, the more people that you will attract to this business. You got to have great posture, knowing what you have without having the need for outside acceptance or approval. Guys, I know we got the greatest thing. I gave up other businesses and a lot of real estate to go full force with Ambit. It's helped change my life. I believe in this 1,000,000%. So when somebody tells me no about the opportunity, you think it bothers me? You think if somebody tells Steve Thompson no, he bothers him? No. He's probably thinking this guy's losing out on something tremendous, because Steve could help that person tremendously. You know, it's the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself, everything. We got the greatest opportunity. Rather than going out there and trying to beg people and convince people to join your team, they should be begging us to be a part of this. And that's how I truly believe. And I guarantee you that a lot of leaders you've seen here today, probably all of them, think the same exact way. So even if you're brand new and you haven't experienced what we have, you got to just look at the people on stage today, the people that you meet at Ambition or other events, and look at their success, or the success from people in magazines. So maybe you haven't got to that point yet, but you got to use other people's stories and inspiration for you to believe in it. You need to believe you can do it, guys. You have to have an I can do it attitude. It comes down to anything in life. You know, that day, Richard just spoke about the softball. That day I went out there, the first day I said, we're going to win the game, I'm going to be the MVP. And sure enough, I was, and we won the game. Because I said it right away, and I'm going to make it happen. You got to believe you're going to do it. If I got up there and said, oh my gosh, I hope Richard does good because I'm going to go out there and strike out next. I probably can't hit this ball because that guy's a good pitcher. I'm probably not going to do well. Right? It's with anything in life. It's with sports, it's with business, it's with family, it's with Ambit. Never say you can't do it, because if you say you can't do it, it's not going to happen. Guys, when you're going out there and speaking to people, you cannot be negative at all. You can't. I mentioned the first slide, it said it's 85% about you, and it's 15% about the presentation that you're giving to people. If you're out there approaching people, and you're one of these people that, let's say you show up late for the appointment, you're complaining about everything out of your mouth is just some negative words or thoughts, the people might like the presentation, but they're not going to want to become a business partner with you. They're going to say, you know what, that video is great, but I can't be partners with Mike. This guy's always negative. He's complaining about everything that's going on. Do I want that in my life? And for that reason, they're not going to join you in business. They won't. Wouldn't you agree? Do you want to be around negative people who are complaining and just not happy? You got to become a happy, likable person. They need to like you first as a person, right? Because we're going into a business partnership together with that person. So you got to become the person that they want to do business with. The thoughts that you are carrying in your mind while taking action will greatly dictate and impact your results. So if you're out there and you're positive and happy and everything out of your mouth is something great, people want to be around that. If it's negative and complaining, they're not going to want to be around you. So you need to work on yourself a lot more if you want to increase your numbers of going out there and recruiting. What does the prospect think of you? So when you sit down with a prospect, the first thing, they're looking at you and analyzing you. Right? Did you show up on time? How are you dressed? I mean, do you dress professional? And I don't really like getting totally dressed up, but I do look pretty decent when I meet people. I don't go looking like a slob or anything like that. But I'm on time. I'm probably early almost every single time. But I mean business. People could tell I mean business when I'm there doing my presentation. Guys, I'm taking time away from my children to sit down with them. So that's my time. Don't waste my time. You know, I shut laptops on people in the middle of a presentation because they weren't paying attention. I said, you make me drive out here to meet you. I'm taking time away from my family, and you can't even pay attention. You're on your phone. I shut the laptop and started walking away from people. And you watch how fast that they beg you to come back. Right? Don't let people walk all over you. Right? We got the greatest thing in the world. They should be begging us for our time and for us to share this with them. Right? So be proud of what you got, and don't let nobody abuse you or walk all over you. Become the person that people want to do business with. Now, if you were going out there to open up, let's say, a $5 million company, and you had to pick 5 different people to be partners in your company, right? So if you sit here, and maybe if you think, so if you're a male, think of a male. If you're a female, think of a female. What would that person, what would those 5 people look like? How would they look? How would they dress? Would they be on time? Would they be professional? Are they positive? Are they negative? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they carry themselves? So who would you pick as that person? Now say, do you have those same qualities that that person has? If you do, you're probably recruiting a high percentage of people. If not, you need to work on yourself, because if you wouldn't recruit yourself as that described person, somebody else might want to not recruit you with you as your partner. Ask yourself these couple questions. You know, a lot of people speak about their why, and I'll talk about some parts of the why today, but are you guys giving it your all? Are you giving this everything you have? This is a life-changing experience. It really is. It's given me an amazing lifestyle. It's changed lives of many people in this room, many people in the company. Are you giving it everything you have? Are you giving it 110%? Are you doing it? Be honest with yourself. Could you do more? I know I could do more a lot of times. You know, do you give up when you get tired? Or do you keep fighting for your why? Do you quit after a few people tell you no? So you got to work and believe in your why. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Do you guys have a strong why? And I heard it mentioned a few times today. Your why should be a why that should make you cry. I don't think your why should be, you know, I just want to go out there and make a few $100, because that's not something we're totally fighting for. You know, my buddy Miguel, I know he's going to succeed even more than he has because his why is so strong. And I seen that from him in day one. There's nothing that's going to stop him. You think if somebody told Miguel no, it's going to affect him? No, because he has a bigger end in mind. So your why should be something that should make you cry. And my why has made me cry several times. And I'll share with you my story. Guys, when I started Ambit Energy 8.5 years ago, believe it or not, I worked about 100 to 110 hours a week. I own 7 different businesses. I own 3, do you guys know Carvel ice cream? Yeah. Fudgy the Whale and Cookie Puss and all that? Well, it's more of a Northeast thing, Carvel. But I worked in Carvel in high school. My friend's dad owned it. And I ended up buying the store at 23, and I got a second store and a third store. And thank God I found Ambit. I probably would have had 20 Carvel stores by now, losing my mind. But I had 3 Carvel stores. I ran all of them. I had about 30 to 40 teenage employees. I had a mortgage company with about 40 people. I had a construction business, a partner in a credit company. I had about 25 rental properties with about 40, 50 tenants. I managed all of them myself. And I had a 1-year-old child and a 2-year-old child that I'd never seen. Because every day I woke up about